Down on the slide.
Okay. We did have like a little foot thing. Pop to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Go to the back.
Come on in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Campbell.
Hi, Randy
Tom
Miller.
James.
I like Antonis Papadorakis. Nice to meet
Okay,
you.
nice to meet you. I'm not going to guarantee that I'll pronounce that right, but I'll do my best.
Excellent.
And here's my business card. If you guys have any questions, after our meeting today, definitely feel free to reach out to me as well. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. How's your day been so far?
Good.
So far so good.
Stop the rain, it would be a little bit better.
I know, right? Okay. So, can you see this okay?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. It's a pleasure to meet both of you. I spoke with Lynn a little bit earlier this week. I'd like to congratulate both of you on Arkema being, recognized as one of the most innovative companies in the world. That's incredible. And from what I understand from Lynn, you have some very ambitious sales goals to reach by 2016. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And I'm assuming, as evidenced by your being in Orlando, you're going to need exceptional talent to reach those goals. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So what I'd like to do today is confirm some of the concerns that you're currently having with hiring some salespeople. So we talked about engineers to begin with, and I hear that you're interested in presenting a program for salespeople as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. And I'd also like to tell you a little bit about my company, Tom James. I presented some of that to Lynn, but I really want you two to know who we are and what we do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, show you the solutions that we can provide in regards to hiring these salespeople. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds good? Okay. Well, when I was visiting with Lynn in our last meeting, he shared with me a few of the concerns that Arkema is having with adding salespeople to your team. So to begin with, in 2015, you'll need to hire 30 to 40 salespeople all over North America. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're wanting a signing bonus for them as well as a few engineers. Is that
Yeah,
right?
we were considering that. Definitely.
Okay, great. And that being said, what would you say the average signing bonus is that you're offering to prospective hires?
Well, I thought this is about, for the salespeople, about $5,000.
Okay, about 5,000. Okay, great. And so the next issue that Lynn shared with me is something I didn't know about, but you have almost as many women sales professionals as you do men. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's great. So for the sake of, I definitely didn't realize that. For the sake of time today, I'm going to present you with packages for men, and then we can really get our teams together and look at those packages for women as well. Is that okay? I know we're a little on a time crunch. We have about 20 minutes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, and then finally, the last concern that he mentioned with me is these clothing packages need to be the top of the line for these salespeople. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to have our salespeople to be dressed really well.
I can imagine. And you guys are in front of some key companies, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any additional needs or concerns that you can think of?
We were looking at this particular deal. If we assume 40 people,
Okay.
$5,000 per person, about $200,000. So
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
And I assume it's a big deal for Tom James. So
Definitely.
who is the senior executive that is aware of this potential project for you guys?
Okay. So our
Can I meet
president,
him?
definitely, our president right now is Todd Brown, and the divisional president over myself is Steve Adams, both very great men. If you would like to schedule a meeting with them, we can definitely get that on the books.
Are they aware that this project is in the
Yes,
works?
very much so. So at Tom James, we are very integrated, basically like a family. As sales reps, kind of at the bottom, we have direct access to our president anytime we need. So you're concerned about whether or not you can meet, our executive team in regards to whether or not they're aware of this. Very much so. Does that kind of alleviate that concern?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, great. Lynn, no other concerns that you can think of other than
I
that?
have one question for you. It's
Okay.
just the diversity of the sales force and the locations they are across the country.
Okay.
Do you have offices everywhere that can handle these people?
Definitely. So you're concerned about whether or not we have offices to accommodate, these
Right.
people all over the United States. So as you can see here, we have offices in over 100 cities worldwide. This side of this handout is just the United States. So we really have we strive at Tom James to be a global company. So it doesn't matter what state, your sales reps are in, we'll send a sales rep to meet them. Does that kind of alleviate that concern?
Yeah, and just one continuation on that is, where would the suits and clothing be delivered, right to the person's home address, or?
So the way we work at Tom James is we come to you. Those suits are delivered to our offices, and then our sales reps take that clothing to their client, whether that's in their office, their home, and they fit it to them specifically. So it really would depend on your sales rep and when they have time for us.
Okay.
So you're concerned about whether or not if it's just going to show up on their front door. Is
Right.
that right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely. We're going to make sure that clothing gets into their hands, and not only into their hands, but it's exactly the way they want it to fit before we walk out the door.
Okay.
Okay. Is that what
And these are the US locations, if you have also locations in Canada?
Yes. And then we have locations across the rest of the world
Okay.
here as well.
All right. Yeah. Okay,
Okay. So we do have, as you can see here, we do have locations in Canada as well. Okay.
thank you.
So what I'd like to do now is show you a brief presentation of my company, Tom James, who we are and what we can do for you, as well as how we can provide solutions to these concerns. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
You can still see this okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Tom James was founded in 1966. As I mentioned, we have locations in over 100 cities worldwide. So we do strive to be a global company, and that's kind of our focus and our push right now. We currently enjoy consistent sales growth of over $250 million a year. And we're really proud that 80% of our annual sales come from repeat business. Now, this repeat business comes from referrals without the use of traditional advertising. So we have been featured in some major media outlets, Forbes, USA Today, but that's not anything of our own doing. We've just been featured there. So we're seeing exponential growth in 3 major areas. The first is manufacturing and wholesale. We own 8 tailoring shops and a woolen mill. The only thing we don't own about the process is the sheep, and we're in negotiations to purchase those as well. So that's kind of an interesting little fact there. This vertical integration in our company allows us to control the quality of the products that we serve to our clients. So whether that's from the measuring and the cutting of the fabric to the top stitching on the lapels before we present it to our client, whatever that may be. So as you can see, Tom James really is a full service world-class clothier. We can do anything from top to bottom. The second area that we're seeing exponential growth is in our partnerships. So we've partnered with some well-known companies. You may even wear some of them, Ferragamo, Allen Edmond, Cole Haan. The reason that we've done this is because, yes, we are a suit company, but we really want to be a one-stop shop. We don't want your salespeople or your engineers to take time out of their day and go shop. We know that they're valuable to you, and that time means money. Is that right? And so partnering with these companies allows us to provide shoes, belts, cufflinks, ties, basically everything in their wardrobe, and for the women as well, heels, whatever it is, pantyhose, whatever it is that they need to go along with that full suit, shirts, any ready-made items as well. The third area that we're seeing growth is in our direct service. So I work directly with individuals such as you, your sales reps, engineers, whatever that may be, and consult my clients seasonally throughout the year. So whether you need, more Easter colors for the spring, linen suit, and a little bit lighter for the summer, the darker fall colors, whatever that is, we're going to meet you there. So as I'm sure you can and your sales reps can, my clients can shop anywhere that they want. But what they really love is the relationship with a trusted advisor when it comes to their wardrobe investment. And as you mentioned, with this $200,000, it really is an investment for your company. So we want to be, there to advise every step of the way. My goal is to prepare you and your sales reps for any occasion. So we know that your sales reps aren't going to all be cookie cutter, and every situation they're put in is not going to be the same. So they may have, a black tie event with a huge client. They may have the everyday business full suit attire. They may want to go to happy hour with a potential client and really wine and dine, or even casual, the weekend, go to a game, the golf course, and spend some time with those clients. And so we are ready to prepare them for whatever it is that they're put in the middle of. My clients tell me that there are 3 reasons they love what I do. The first is selection and fit. In our product line, we have literally hundreds of suits, shirts, sport coats, trousers, dresses, slacks, skirts, everything you can imagine. And we're actually one of the only custom clothiers to take 32 specific measurements. And what this allows us to do is to tailor that suit to that sales rep's body, fit them like a glove, so to speak. The second area that my clients tell me they love what I do is the relationship. So my clients enjoy my service because of my expertise. I can advise them on styling, fit, fabrics, and the latest fashion. At Tom James, as sales reps, we attend 2 national meetings a year where our whole company comes together. Whether that's our tailors, the woolen mill, the people that work there in London, wherever that is, we all come together and kind of work together to relearn the process, to relearn the measuring and what's coming off the runway right then and there. And finally is convenience. I mentioned a little bit a few minutes ago, but I'm here to save you time, save your sales reps time, and simplify their lives. So we keep detailed records of their wardrobe and measurements. If they, hey, I need a new blue blazer, shoot me a text or an email. We already have your measurements on file. We'll put that order in and have it to you as soon as possible. Okay? And because of this, we address entire season's needs and wants, as I mentioned a while ago, the spring, summer, fall, whatever it is that they need. We also handle any alterations or repairs. So we're not just going to give them a suit and leave them hanging and hope it works out for them. We're going to come back. One of the great things about our suits is we build an extra 30% fabric into the suit, so they can gain weight, they can lose weight, we can still take it in or alter it to meet their needs. So how does all this sound so far?
Sounds good. Now, you mentioned that you would present the package to us.
Yes, so
Okay.
I would like to get into that.
Yeah.
So you've indicated that your first concern was you needed to hire 30 to 40 salespeople all
Yes.
over the United States. So here in a second, I'll go into some of the packages if that's okay. So you're
Mhm.
concerned about what packages we do have. And so I'll go over that a little bit. So here's what I would propose to begin with. You take that $5,000 signing bonus and allot it toward one of these customized packages. Let's see. So we have several different packages. These are some of our higher end, as well as, let's see. So as you can see here, we have one package that retails for $5,000. So that right there is perfect. It kind of fits, what you already had in mind budget-wise. And let's see if I can make this a little more obvious. Sorry about that. Well, technical difficulty, sorry about that. This provides 2 suits, 4 shirts, 4 ties, and 2 pairs of slacks. So that's definitely able to kind of get them started. Now, these packages are not set in stone. So I would really like to get our teams together and detail what those packages are going to look like.
One question I have, these packages you mentioned, you have one with a retail for 5,000.
Uh-huh.
And if I come as an individual to Tom James,
Right.
I can get the package.
Definitely.
Right. So
Yes.
now we have a company that says, hey, I want 40 packages.
Right.
So I would expect a significant discount over the retail
And we do,
price.
yes, we do
So what do you
discount,
have
we do
on that?
discounts as well. So that's another thing I wanted to get into. So to begin with, the benefit of these customized packages is that it allows your company to attract these salespeople in a truly innovative way. And as we mentioned before, you really know what it means to be innovative. And this is obviously your ultimate hiring goal, is to really get these people out there and looking good. So the next area that you just mentioned is discounts. So your second major concern is we have both men and women, and that they're not obviously prepared to go into the workplace and to sell dressed as well as they possibly could. That's kind of why we're here, I would imagine. So in regards to this, my recommendation is to implement a 2-fold event. So this is kind of where that discount comes in. The first part of this event would be an educational seminar on a semi-annual basis, in which we would detail how to dress professionally in front of key executives, really train them and train that eye to look for dressing well, and have them ready to look in their closet and put a whole wardrobe together, if you will. And here is where the discount comes in. The second aspect is a promotional buying opportunity. So at this event, we would bring several of our sales reps in, bring these packages in and sell all this at a discount. Now, again, we can negotiate the terms of this before we even show up for this event, and so those discounts are already made. Sales reps can literally walk in and pick what they want.
So we're talking about the $5,000 here. So we have 2 options. I mean, we have decided to make this investment
Okay.
as a sign-on bonus for our people.
Uh-huh.
Now we have the option say, excuse me, here's 5,000. Do whatever you want with that.
Right.
Put the down payment for
Okay.
something, buy clothes, or you have $5,000 allotment to go to Tom James and buy clothes.
Okay.
Why should we do the latter and not the
So the
former?
first that you mentioned, if you could restate that again, the first part that you mentioned is give them 5,000 and let them.
Yeah, I have the option to say your sign-on bonus is 5,000.
Okay.
It's 5,000 cash. Do whatever you want. You want to buy clothes. You want to buy put
Whatever.
a down payment for a car.
Yeah.
That's your
Okay.
problem. The other is to take this 5,000. So you have 5,000. You
So
can go
why
to
would
Tom.
they go to Tom James? Is that what you're
You
saying?
should go to Tom James. You can only use the money to Tom James.
Okay, and you're asking
So why should I
Okay,
do
great.
the latter?
That's a great question. So I have an article here, and I know an article doesn't do everything, but we're hoping that with this training program, we can really train these salespeople on how that professional dress can help them in their career. I'm sure with both of you being on the executive team, you know what it means. If you were to get in front of a key executive and you're not dressed well, that collar is not starched. You don't have an up-to-date tie or a suit that fits you as well as possible. How that reflects on you, and at Tom James, we want to make these people as successful as possible and help them to move up, not only with key executives, in front of companies that they're hoping to sell to, but with their colleagues as well. Does that kind of alleviate that concern a little bit?
Some.
Okay.
Still, it's where do I spend the money?
Right. Okay. So the benefit of this program is that your existing sales reps, as well as sales reps that you're hiring on, if that was something you would want to do, are well educated and well prepared as they interact with key customers. So we want to make them as successful as possible and give them that confidence and that self-esteem. That's another aspect of being dressed well. When you get up in the morning and you put on that new suit, you're ready to conquer the day. So that's another reason that as a company, it may be great to push your sales reps, to purchase that product, because in the end, they're going to make more money for you as well if they're confident and they have great self-esteem and they reflect the reputation of your company in the way you want. Does that help with that a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today I've shown you, and then top of the line clothing. So we obviously have different packages. Basically everything that we offer is top of the line. All of our suits are 100% wool, whereas if they were to go buy them in a retail store, they're going to be some kind of blend. And what this does is a blend is going to have to be cleaned or washed more often, whereas a wool suit, you hang it, let it air, the wrinkles are going to fall, and the odors are going to disappear. So just that in itself makes a huge difference, as well as the upper half of our, let me show you actually, to give you a little more of a visual. So here are some of our a la carte packages, but this kind of gives you an idea of the ranges of some of our suits. So most of these are completely hand stitched, and they're done like that here in the United States. So these suits really are the best quality you could possibly get out there. In the armpits of the suit, we have sweat guards, so you're not going to ruin that wool suit. Their name is going to be embroidered in the inside of the coat jacket as well as their pants. So they take it to the dry cleaner, they get it back, they know that it's theirs. So there's several, things about Tom James that really sets us apart and gives you that value for that dollar. Does that kind of help with that? Does that sound
Yes.
good?
Yes, out of curiosity, because you present us the packages for men, and when we started this project, we spoke about engineers.
Right.
I think Lynn mentioned that the original target was our engineers, and we have both male and female engineers.
Right.
So I'm just a little bit wondering, why didn't you come also prepared to show us the package for female
Of
sales
course.
people?
So I do have a couple. I have the a la carte package prepared. I definitely did not realize how many women you had in your sales force, for sure, both engineers and on your sales force. So that in itself, let's see if I can. So as you can see here, again, we can provide those female engineers, whatever that may be, with that black tie event, that full suit, a social event, whatever it is, we have everything for the women as well. And again, we really are abreast of what's coming off the runway as soon as it comes off the runway. So we do as much for the women as we do for the men. So you were a little concerned I didn't come prepared, is that right?
Right, yeah, because you mentioned, okay, here's a $5,000 package, and
Right.
2 suits, 2 shirts, and 2 pairs of socks. I don't remember the details, but it was a set
Yeah,
package.
definitely.
So how does the set package for women look like in
Right.
$5,000
So
range?
again, I was not prepared. But I do have some of those handouts for the women as well. I
Okay.
can send you in an email or, a file by the end of business today detailing that. It's basically the same thing. They can get the two shirts, 2 pairs of slacks, and or 2 suits, which would be a full jacket and skirt, 2 shirts, and then the 2 slacks. So it's basically the same package as the
Okay.
men as well. Does
Okay.
that kind of alleviate
Yeah.
that concern a little
Yeah.
bit? Okay, great. So today I've shown you how we can really put together a program to help hire these engineers as well as salespeople. I'd like to set up a meeting if we could within the next 30 days and